Hey everybody, thanks for tuning into a little special midweek show. I have my co-host here as always, Mr. Manslaughter.
Hello.
And today we're going to be doing something a little different. Cody and I were talking about doing a couple different videos just to kind of give people like little tidbits throughout the week, not our normal 20 to 30 minute videos, but a little bit shorter, and just kind of talk about the top 5 champs in each of their different classes. And, you could talk about AP carries, gankers, stuff like that. But today we're actually going to talk about the AD carry. Usually, the person that's going to be running bottom lane with the support. So we're actually just going to read off of our top 5 AD carries. Cody, you want to kick it off with your number 5?
My number 5 is Graves. I put him here because he has very good early game and laning phase harass. While he doesn't have any good CC besides his smoke cloud, I still feel like he's a pretty viable champion.
Yeah, I think Graves, will see him come back up on the list maybe, but I definitely think he's definitely in the top 5. So my number 5 is Corki. I think that Corki, with his escapability and his skill shot, does a lot of damage, and also, with that Gatling gun, he's really great to have at a team fight. But again, doesn't really have a whole lot of CC. Actually, almost it has none. So that's really where Corki kind of lacks. But he does have that phosphorus bomb, which is nice to be able to use to check a bush. Cody, go ahead with your number 4.
My number 4 champ is Kog'Maw. I picked him. He has good early laning pressure, especially with his ultimate. Makes it very easy to zone people out. And also, he has very good poke, which is a very underrated, stat on a lot of champions, that he can use pre-team fight. And that can help sway the team fight into his team's favor, especially with his extra range. He doesn't necessarily have to get in the middle of the team fight in order to do well in it. And that's why he's my number 4.
And my number 4 actually is going to be a champ that's close to home for Cody, and I'd be surprised if she didn't come up on his list, but it's Tristana. She actually has some of the best abilities in the game, in my opinion. Her ultimate actually does a ton of damage. She has that rocket jump, which is great for escapability. You can go over walls with it, do a lot of really cool things, and she has a lot of really great damage. So that's why I put her at my number 4. Cody, number 3.
My number 3 champion is the stereotypical Ashe. Her ultimate is one of the greatest, if not the greatest, initiations in the game. Very easy to hit. She also has a slow, which I've always argued slows are better than move speeds because it brings the enemy to you instead of you chasing the enemy, so it helps your whole team catch up to them. And also her volley is great for popping down Banshee's Veils, and that is why she's my number 3.
All right, and my number 3, Cody already talked about him. It's Graves. I put him up a little bit higher on my list because he does so much damage early game that you could really dominate a lane with his buckshot. And, his smoke screen, you could argue that it's a good ability. It's not really that great. It's okay if you're in team fights, but again, it's such a small radius. They maybe make it a little bit bigger, but even then he wouldn't move up into my top 2 champs. So you have top 2 champs, Cody. Who's your number 2?
My number 2 champ is Caitlyn.
Oh my goodness. Makes me throw up a little bit in my mouth. Go on, tell me why.
Alright, so I have recently found out that Caitlyn's range was moved up from what it used to be, and she has 650 flat range, which is the longest auto attack range in the game, by about 20.
That's true.
This is just fantastic in my opinion. It gives her so much lane harass, while at the same time giving her the ability to poke down champs without necessarily putting herself in danger. Her headshot is very good for taking down stuff like Barons because that 250% damage versus minions, if you critted 1,000, that's 2,500 damage right there. So that's very underrated of her. And also her traps are very good if you use them right. And those reasons are why she's my number 2.
Yeah, and actually, I'm not a big fan of Caitlyn. I don't think anybody's surprised by that. She will not make my top 5, but I will tell you she has the highest auto attack, like Cody said, by actually 25. Annie has the next highest auto attack at 625. But the only people that have a higher auto attack is Twitch, Kog'Maw, and Tristana, and that's only if you use their abilities to make it larger. So she has the best auto attack in the game, basically, definitely. And with 80 carries, that's what you're really building towards. Anyways, I'm not going to harp too much on it. I'm just going to go back to Cody's number 3 pick, Ashe, because she's my number 2. I think she's, right there, with the best in the game. Like Cody said, best initiation in the game. I can't think of anything better. Maybe Mumu's ult is better, but man, I don't know. The greatest thing about her is she can kind of help out from wherever she is on the map, and that's definitely viable. All right, and Cody, go ahead with the number one. I think I know who it is.
I do, and I'm sure Dave has the same number one.
You want to say it at the same time? We could take a 3, 2, 1.
All right, let's try it.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Vayne.
Vayne.
Yeah, it's definitely Vayne. Go ahead and talk a little bit about her.
Alright, so Vayne has true damage, she has percent health damage, she has a stun, she's fast, she has an invisibility. I don't know why you would argue that she wasn't the number one champ for AD carries.
I think that, if our listeners are watching this, they know that I love Vayne. She's one of my 3 mains that I play a lot, and I found her early on after she got nerfed a little bit, and still, they could nerf her again. I still think she would be in the best AD carry in the game. Her knockback's amazing. Her tumble's amazing for poking, which, if you're having somebody like a problem with someone like Caitlyn, you can still poke a little bit with that tumble, but so Vayne's also my number one as well, so that should tell you something about Vayne. Alright, that's going to wrap up this top 5 list, but we want to thank you guys for tuning in, and let us know how you feel about it. If you like it, if you don't, we won't keep coming out with them, but we think they're kind of fun and good for newer players, so definitely put in your comments below, and thanks for all the feedback.